Good morning, everybody. It is Monday, November the 15th. Oh my goodness, 15 and 31, 46 more days left in this year. Can you believe it? Unbelievable. It's unbelievable. Let me see if I can't do my little check here for sound. Ooh. Hopefully everybody had a wonderful weekend. Let's see, sound check. Yep, I think you can hear me. Yes, here we go. Hopefully everybody. Yes. I'm still battling my sinus infection, which has now turned into a terrible cough. But hopefully the worst was this weekend. Let's see what's going on in the market. Move over a little bit here. We have listed 102 homes over the weekend, everybody. That's fantastic. And we put 98 under contract. So we're holding steady at 28 days of inventory. Yay. We have 3,835 available homes in the Valley zip codes. Remember, I just want everybody to know that's not Clark County. It doesn't include Mesquite and Boulder City. And really just our valley, including Henderson, though. So, and North Las Vegas. So, I better not talk too fast or I'll start to cough. We listed 27 homes, 400,000 and under, which is really good, really good. Good morning, everybody. Good morning, Karen. So good to see you. Always good to see you. And Debbie's there too. Good, Debbie. Yeah, we listed 27 homes, 400 and under. That's really good, which gives a total of 775 homes, 400 and under. So as I say, and I keep saying, so it resonates, that we're listing homes and we're selling homes, which is we have a very, very stable market. If y'all, you need to look at this opportunity and, in 6, 8, 9 months, who knows what's going to happen next year. Don't look in the rearview mirror and say, why didn't I take advantage of this great market? Oh my gosh. Oh my goodness. I had a feeling. My Jimmy's here.
I'm here for a while. One of my guys is coming in a few minutes. I don't know when he's going to be here, but I'm going to stay as long as I can.
That's fantastic. How are you?
I'm good. I'm going to see you tomorrow too.
Yes, I know. We're going to have a class on agency, and it's really great. I tell everybody, the client signs one page, but the division takes 22 pages to tell you what the client signed. Yeah. So, Jimmy, we're doing great. We have 28 days of inventory. We're listing and selling. We're closing and listing. So I'm just saying what a great market this is. And if people, we don't want to look in the rearview mirror in a year and say, why didn't I take advantage of this great market? Interest rates, available homes, a lot of people moving to Vegas, because you never know what's going to happen. Look what just happened 3 years ago. What are your thoughts? I want to hear your thoughts before you have to go.
Okay, well, my thought is we have to if we want to sell a house, we have to get them to admit first that they made a mistake by not buying a house in the last year. So to shake them up and say, listen, last year you lost this much money. It's almost insulting, and I get that. Nobody wants to hear what they lost. I'm here because I don't want to see that happen to you again next year. What do you think is going to happen with the market? And then you give them a chance to talk. But you have to slap them with love. In the first place, you guys say, this is what you lost by not buying a house last year. What do you think is going to happen next year? Find out what they think. Well, houses are going to have to go down. Whatever's in their head, I need to figure it out and ferret it out and help them see that if they don't want to lose the same amount of money this year, that they lost last year, they're going to have to do something, because it's easier not to do anything. It's easier. Most people don't do anything because it's easier. I'll just stay where I am.
So we have to be their guidance and their counsel.
We have to hit them. You have to hit them. You have to give them some pain, because it's easy. It's not painful for them to stay where they are. It's painful for them to look back and see what they lost. That's painful. And I get it. Nobody likes pain. But you know what? Pain drives people more than the opportunity to gain. We've had this opportunity to gain. We've been telling them ever since I've been with you, Ruthie, buy a house, buy a house, buy a house. And some people still haven't bought a house. And those people we're communicating, we're telling them the opportunity instead of telling them, this is what you lost by not buying a house.
Yeah, and last year, I mean, they lost $45,000.
I know,
That's huge.
I know. And if they
Yeah.
don't want to lose another $45,000 this year, they need to do something.
And one of the I've been doing the 2022 business planning on my shows, and we let me put this down for a second. Put this back up here. And we talk about the financial, the sales and marketing, and the customer service. And last week we had a great couple days of determining from how much money they want to make to how many calls they want to make. For instance, if you want to net $300,000, you have to make 231 calls, and that's contacts a month. Because and I showed everybody how you reverse engineer it, so they understand that for every 3 people that say yes, only one's going to do it. So it's a great little spreadsheet that actually Brian Buffini put it together, and I reverse engineered it for everybody. So they know what they have to do next year. And I'm bringing this up now because what you just said is a great conversation. A lot of people don't make phone calls because they don't know what to say, or they get nervous, or they're afraid of rejection. And if you practice 15 times a day, saying what you want to say, and then you role play with maybe your broker or your agent or your spouse or your significant other, the more you do it, the better you sound, and the more enthusiastic you become. And so maybe you don't resonate with the first several people you call, but eventually you will.
Well,
And this
and
is good.
breaking down the numbers, if it's 230, let's just call it 240. Buffini says work 3 weeks a month. Don't work 4 weeks a month. So 240 divided by 3 is 80. And he says work 4 days a week. 80 divided by 4 is 20. It's 20 contacts per day that you work. You work 4 days a week. You have a day off coming. You work 3 weeks a month. You have a week off coming where you're not going to have to do this. But if you commit to the 20 contacts, AT&T says it takes 6 minutes for a business call. So 20 contacts, 6 minutes, that's 2 hours. And that's what Buffini says, 2 hours a day, making these connections, talking to people.
And that's the way that you're going to build your business or increase your business. There's no other way.
There's no other way.
You can't sit there and wait for the phone to ring.
You have to do the push-ups. You have to do them. Buffini calls it the non-negotiable. That's what he calls it. He said, my one non-negotiable is my notes. And he writes his notes when he makes his phone calls. He writes the notes to people he's called.
Yeah, and it works. I mean, and it was interesting. Tom Ferry did what did he call it? His blueprint last week. And what he said is that, 75% of the business is done by 25% of the agents. And that's not true in Vegas.
Well, the numbers because you run them.
Yeah, that's not true in Vegas. That's like he took selected MLSs across the country. And in Vegas, it's more like 20% of the agents. And so if we have 16,000 agents, those are real estate agents. Do you know the number of realtors that there are?
It's about 16. It's about, you're close.
Close, yeah. So, I mean, that's not that many agents that are doing any business. And so my point to that is, there's room for you, because there's not enough agents doing what they should be doing. It's interesting when you think of the number of people that are moving here, and it's increased by 10% or by 5% from last year. And so more people are moving here. The interest rates are low. The price is still good. The median's between 400 and 410, depending on how you do the numbers. So it's still a wonderful time to sell a home, to get a seller to sell, and then to get buyers to buy.
Well, I think the challenge with sellers is figuring out where they're going to go. When you talk to a seller that's going to move to Montana or Florida or somewhere else, they're going. And you don't have to convince them to sell their house. The ones that think they're going to sell the house here and buy another house here, those are the ones that are challenging, I think. But like you said, there's 3,200 sales last month. How many? Over 3,000 sales?
Last month there was, let's see, last month. Yeah, 3,800.
Okay, some of those are condos. So if there's 3,200 agents working, which is the 20% of 16,000, 3,200, that's a deal a day. I mean, one deal a month for each one of those guys that's working. That would be 12 deals a year. Now, if our average commission is what, 14,000, 15,000, that's $180,000.
Yeah.
That's just doing one deal a month.
Yeah, the
Closes it.
opportunity is just incredible. It's just really incredible. And and so let's see, Jimmy
Sorry.
coming back.
Sorry.
So one of the things that we're gonna hi Tammy, good to see you. You lost sound. You lost sound. Let's see. Let's do a sound check.
Tammy says she lost sound too.
Yeah. Sammy, I can hear.
Yeah, I can hear you fine. So I didn't lose sound.
Okay, maybe try getting your sound back. Karen, do you have sound? Karen will tell us for sure too. Anyway, good morning. Good morning.
Karen's got sound.
Yeah, Karen has her sound. Okay. Yeah, Karen can hear us. Okay, Tammy. I don't know what happened to your computer or your phone, but so anyway, one of the things that we're on today, Jimmy, is building your database. And to build your business, you've got to have motivation and drive. You've got to want. I can't want for you more than what you want for yourself.
Right.
And so, a database is just not names and addresses. It's information about the people that you have relationships with. And that's why Buffini always says in his referral maker, or even if you use the agent formula CRM, you can still grade everybody. A pluses are people that are going to refer you, A people that might refer you, and then you have B and C, and you've got to determine in your own mind who those people are, and the D's you delete. And so what you want is a database of viable people, and viable people are people who are probably going to do business with you. Oh, Tammy got us back. Good. And you don't have a boss. Right? I mean, you've got to want this. You have to push yourself, with consistency and practice, and then that will remove all the fear of rejection or the lack of confidence that you have. And so, if calling gives you heart palpitations, sweaty palms, nervous twitches, and your voice is shaky, you're not alone. I mean, we all just didn't bounce up and be able to make phone calls, right?
And I think part of it's the message that we're calling with. If we're calling with a message, I'm just calling to say Merry Christmas. I mean, how hard is that? I'm just calling to say Merry. I'm not calling to sell you anything. I'm not calling to tell you about my latest listing. I'm just calling to say Merry Christmas. Your A pluses deserve a Merry Christmas phone call, or Happy Thanksgiving, or Happy Day after Thanksgiving. Did you have turkey, or whatever? If the phone call is really to deepen the connection, you're not trying to sell them anything, and you're less concerned about making the phone call.
So let's listen to this. This is a follow-up call that Buffini tells everybody to do.
Cool.
The follow-up dialogue after you send out your mailing. Hi, Charlie. How you doing? How's your family? How's your business? Just checking in to see if you got my mailing this month on remodeling. A lot of my clients have been interested in home improvement projects, so I hope it was valuable for you. Keep in mind, if you need a good trade or service professional for any type of remodeling, or even some simple repairs, I have a network of great people I can refer you to. It's my goal to provide you and your family with valuable information each month. Oh, by the way, if you know someone who's looking to buy or sell a home, I'd love to help them. So when you come across these people, just give me a call with their name and business number. I'd be happy to follow up and take great care of them for you. Okay, great. Take care.
So I don't know why the echo, but how easy is that? Especially if
Excellent.
you're
Just
doing
excellent.
mailing.
That's just excellent. You send them a piece of value first, and then you call them. Excellent.
Yeah, and it's like you send them a Christmas card, and then you just say, wishing your family a Merry Christmas or Happy Holidays, and hope you got my card, and maybe you put something in the card. So
the item of value that he uses is already set out for us. It's already set out.
Yeah, I know that John already sent his item of value out. Giving gratitude,
Cool.
and it's really a really nice flyer. And I think I posted it in the group as well. So people, you can use it, and it's not branded. And so you can use it. And then you follow up. And it's just amazing how easy it is. And I know me saying it's easy and you saying it's easy because we've been in this business so long, but you really have to push yourself. And you have to practice. One of the things that Jim Rohn says is that you practice 15 minutes a day in front of a mirror. And you smile, and the mirror smiles back. And so you do this for 3 days. This is a formula. And then after the 3 days, you role play with your spouse, your friend, an agent, or your broker, and you will get better. You have to, and then you have to overcome the procrastination. And that you just got to get it done. You just have to get it done. And this is something that you can, if you start now, man, by January, you'll have it down pat. And if this is part of your business plan, is to make those 230 contacts a month, you'll be ready to go, and you'll be anxious because you're so good, right?
It's funny, you put up a Tom Ferry program about 4 weeks ago, and it was Tom Ferry talking to Uber performers. These guys are really mega producers. And he said, I want to see your best tip. And the first guy out of the box said scripts. First guy, scripts. He said, I know scripts is not something you want to do, but he said, you got to role play your scripts. You got to practice your scripts. 15 minutes would work. First guy out of the box, scripts.
Yeah. And, and just like, let's see, I have this little book, networking. I don't know if you can see it.
Yeah, we can see it.
My light's there.
Yeah.
Networking business in 15 minutes a day.
Yeah.
And so there's many. Jim Rohn does this. This is Tom Schrader. There's a lot of people that subscribe to this. Dale Carnegie, same thing. Stand in front of the mirror, smile, and every once in a while, maybe you can role play a rejection. Oh, you don't want to talk today? Okay, that's fine. Right. But say I'll talk to you again soon. Oh, by the way, do you want to be on my VIP mailing list? Anyway, there's so many. I don't know, Jimmy, it's so easy for us. And I just want everybody to make it easy for them too. And, you make that call with rejection-free words too. You talk about words all the time, how important they are.
Well, skill makes it easier. And the only way to get skill is to do it.
Yes. And the more you practice, the better you get. And then it becomes automatic. And I want to show this. This would be words to win by. And these are words that, and I'm going to put this in if I haven't already, I'm going to post it in the group. You use, and it gets into detail about the different words that you can use, that are like rejection proof, if you will. Like you don't say commission, you say compensation, just for, an example that maybe hits home with people. And you say reasonable, something reasonable, even after a contract is agreed upon, I'm going to post this because I don't want to take the time to read everything, but this is really important. And you have things that you say about words in class, and can you think of some?
Well, Joe Nigo and Brian Buffini have a podcast about these words. And I don't know what episode it is, but, like you say, words to win with. If you went onto Buffini's website and looked at their podcast, Joe Nigo does a really good job role playing with Brian Buffini. And he goes over each one of these words and the context and the timing when you would do it and how it's worked for him in the past. Joe Nigo's very skilled.
Oh, yes. Yeah. And Joe Nigo, he talks about how he came from a blue collar family. And then he just decided instead of trying to be that ultra sophisticated guy, he was just going to be himself. And then he went on to make millions of dollars just by being Joe.
Well, the two things that Brian and Joe have in common are the work ethic that they have. They brought with them a work ethic that a lot of agents they're not doing. I started a diet on November 1st with a friend of mine. And the deal is we get a cheat day. And when I'm thinking, oh man, this diet's hard, I just think, I have a cheat day coming up. If I'm working 4 days a week, if I know I just got to do 4 days a week, I can take my day in between there whatever day I want. But I know 4 days I got to work, but I'm getting a day off. I'm going to get a day off where I don't work.
Yes. And then, and I think getting started, just like anything, it's the hardest part. Because once you get started and you start getting results and you see that things work, and it might take you 30 days. But when you start seeing that, oh my gosh, I got an appointment, I got 2 appointments, I got 3 appointments, then it starts becoming like you can't wait to do it.
Well, two things. My friend is here, so I'm going to log off because I got to take care of him. But I will tell you that we have the CEO class coming up. The CEO, to be the CEO of your business. Do we have that coming up?
Yes. Yep.
Okay. The
Yeah.
reason I'm bringing that up is because I was listening to a program today on my way to work called Covert Persuasion. And they talked about, they put three groups of people together, and they had one group write down their goals and turn it in. And they had one group write down their goals on one of those little etch-a-sketch things where you lift up the sheet and it disappears. And then they had the one group, just tell us what your goals are. At the end of 90 days, we know which ones had an impact in their performance. So if you don't come to that class, just write your goals down and send them to Ruth. But you have to write them down. You got to send them in. If you want to achieve your goals, you got to write them down on a piece of paper, and you got to give it to some. Keep a copy yourself, but give the paper to someone so you know you've publicly declared that. And it was the audio program I was listening to was about persuasion, and the number one person you have to persuade is yourself.
Right. Yes. You just have to rip that bandage off and do it. Well, Jimmy, thank you so much for joining me this morning. Okay. I know you have to go. It's just a pleasure always to see you. And I will see you again tomorrow from 2 to 5. We have the agency class. And then in December, just because you mentioned be the CEO of your life, we have that the first week of December. I think it's. And
I'm bringing my risk reduction outline with me tomorrow for you to look at.
Oh, super.
Okay.
Great. Right. Okay, Jimmy. Thank you.
Bye.
Bye. Oh, it's always good to see him. Always good to see him. So let me continue here, everybody. I'm going to put myself down here, hopefully. There we go. So this is what I basically went over when Jimmy was with us. And so let's go on to the next slide. And okay, so database. Who is your database? It is your sphere of influence. And then you have to make 30 contacts with those people a year. Some people say 36. Some people say 30. I think, 2.5 a month is really a good goal. And then if you don't have a sphere of influence yet, then you need to just always wear your badge anyway. And then people are going to say, oh, you're in real estate. How's the market? And guess what? You're going to learn how to give them this and say, oh, look, here we have a stable market. And oh, look at the low interest rates down here. I try to put everything on here that would strike up a conversation, that you can have with someone, whether they're a first-time buyer, whether they want to downsize, whether they want to move up, because we have what equity they probably have in their home. And you can easily calculate it if you have this with you. But anyway, so then you have something for them. And your cards should have a QR code on them so that they can look. If you ever want to look for homes or make it go to a landing page that makes them give you their email address so that they get something from you. But whatever your strategy is, you should use that QR code. And then you should always ask people, do you want to be on my VIP market newsletter list? And every month or every week, I'll send you what's going on in the market and any news about the real estate for 2022, however you want to frame your message. And always have a little notepad so you can write down their email address. And then, so this is Sally Smith. Okay, and Sally, what's your email address so I can send it to you? Oh, this is great. Now you've got 2 pieces of great information. And then you can say, oh, and by the way, could I have your phone number just in case something comes up and I can complete my information for my list? Again, however you want to frame it, it's comfortable for you. And you give that card to everybody that you come in contact with. The waiter, the valet attendant, the cashier, the hostess. And then you learn the mayor campaign. So let's listen to the mayor campaign. I'm sorry, it might be, I don't know why it's, let's see. I'm not sure why it was echoing. It might echo, but still you'll get the gist. It's a minute of maybe echo. I don't know. I don't know why it echoed.
The mayor campaign dialogue. Oh, by the way, if you were buying or selling a home, or had a friend or family member who was, do you have a realtor you'd refer them to? If the response is yes, well, that's great. It's important that you have a qualified professional to work with. If the response is no, well, I'd like to be that person. From time to time, I come across valuable real estate information that everyone finds helpful. Would you like to receive that? Sure, says the client. Okay, great. Where's the best place to send it to? Probably my home address. And your address is? Well, it's 123 Main Street, Chula Vista. Got it. Now, if something came up and I needed to get a hold of you, what's the best number to reach you at? 555-1212. Okay, great. I'm going to stay in touch with you. And if you know anybody thinking about buying or selling a home, just give me a call with their name and number, and I'll be happy to follow up with them. The mayor campaign.
So that's just so easy. But again, practice it, practice it. Another thing to practice in front of that mirror till it just rolls off your tongue. And there's different versions of it depending on whether you know the person, whether you don't know the person. And if you take that 100 Days to Greatness course, it goes through all of those. Like there's an open house dialogue as well. And as we go through between now and the end of the year, I'll play more of these dialogues for you. So, but to stay on track today with the database, so you're going to do the mayor campaign with all these people, and it works. I've seen Aaron Taylor use it. My husband uses it. I've seen other agents use it, and it just works. And people, I think we're sometimes, we're salespeople, but we're afraid of people until all of a sudden they embrace us. And then all of a sudden it's like, that wasn't so hard. They actually like me. Amazing, huh? And then we have a list of 100 different people that you probably have never asked for business or didn't put them on your mailing list. And I'm going to put that in the group. Kane has that list. For some reason, it's not on our it's not in our file system. So I'm going to probably we'll put it in the PDF form, and you'll get that list. And then phone contacts. So I think it's, Tom Ferry says, how many contacts do you have in your phone? Not counting realtors, of course. Well, 7% of them are probably interested in real estate. And that's amazing. Tom was doing a Zoom, and he had hundreds of people watching him. And I mean, it's amazing how many people are in your phone. So just think about that. 7% of those people are interested in real estate. So if those people aren't in your database or they're not on your list of people to call, you need to reach out to them. And then number 6, people move to Vegas, 139 people a day. I think we're all spoiled. We just don't realize that we're sitting on a pot of gold here. You can contact agents in California, in Arizona, Utah, Chicago, Florida, all the places where people are moving from to come to Vegas. Contact those agents because they probably sold a house for them. Excuse me for a second. I got to take a drink of water. Hopefully I don't lose my voice today. And then, like, I remember Joanne worked for us for years. And I said, Joanne, where are you from? She said, New Jersey. And I said, did you do real estate in New Jersey? She said, yes, I did. I said, you've got a gold mine. And sure enough, Joanne started contacting agents that she knew, people that she knew. People move here from New Jersey. It's one of the highest tax states in the United States. And anyway, so yes, she got a lot of business, and she was always so grateful that I gave her that little tiny tip. And she got a lot of referrals every year from just doing that one thing. Like if you're from California, I was talking to a gal the other day from California. I said, oh my gosh, you have a gold mine. You just don't know it yet. And I told her I'd be glad to help her get some tactics and strategies because, she was an agent and is an agent in California. So if you were an agent in California, you have a gold mine as well. I mean, I don't know, maybe 3 gold mines. Anyway, let's move on here. So your farm, your monthly letter, your monthly CMA, that in itself is 24 touches to your database. And then, like Jimmy said, you need to call people and you need to do what? What do you need to do? You need to tell them something about what you just received. Maybe they're not on your VIP mailing list and they're getting your monthly letter. They're getting your monthly CMA of their neighborhood or whatever, but they're not on your VIP mailing list. Now, we just did our monthly blog that goes out to everybody that's in your database, and it was about the job market here, which is excellent. We have an excellent job market now. We don't have enough people to fill the jobs, and obviously there's a lot of jobs that people don't want, but there's still a lot of really, really good jobs here. And the blog, the Las Vegas Market Watch this month, talks about that. And I used Jeremy Aguero's Positive Outlook, and I love the name of his newsletter, The Positive Outlook. And we share ideas all the time. And this one, I think I just pretty much did it verbatim of what he said, with his permission, of course. And then I integrated the applied analysis slides that backed up what he was saying. So anyway, if you're an Agent Formula member, it's the blog, and it was sent out to your database as well as a newsletter. So anyway, that's a great thing. Now, if you use a system or a title company to get phone numbers and email addresses, and you have to make those 20 calls a day based on your goals, get the title company or buy into a system where you can get people's emails and phone numbers. And you're not going to get them all because it just doesn't work that way. But if you have a farm of 200 and you can get 25 or 30, that's great. Start with that and then move out. You can continue. Like one of the good ways that Tom Ferry said the other day was to use BEN verified. And I think I have that here. See if I put that on a slide. Yeah, here we go. Yeah, I mean, here it is, BEN verified, and it costs a little, I don't know, $19, $20 a month, but you can put somebody's name in there and it can get you, if they're on social media, if they have an email address, their phone number. So there's ways to do it. Vulcan 7 is great for circle prospecting. And that's when you start calling people, that when a listing goes up, you call people around that listing. So Vulcan 7 gets phone numbers and gets email addresses. And all these, here's the thing, what I found out, they all get them probably from the same place, right? There's no magic here, but it just depends which system you like to use. So the title company, you can get names and addresses and build your database from there. And then from there, you can go and do Vulcan 7 to find out all the names and addresses on a particular street, for instance. So anyway, there's ways to do it. And yes, it's a process, but eventually over time, you're going to get them if you work on it. So open houses, oh my gosh, what a great way to get information. And that should be a consistent thing on your schedule, especially in Las Vegas when we have so many people moving here. We have a lot of orphaned buyers, I call them. They don't have agents. They went on the internet. They found out, well, the open houses were in Las Vegas. They came here for a weekend, and the holiday weekends are always great for having open houses. And they don't have an agent. So I call them orphan buyers. And then on social media, you need to start looking up your people on social media. If you have a name, somebody lives on your street, they might be on LinkedIn, they might be on Instagram, and they might be on Facebook. So depending on, the age, like most millennials are probably more on Instagram than on Facebook, and people over 40 are probably on Facebook. And then a lot of people are on LinkedIn because they're professionals. So figure out how you're going to build your database. You've already figured out how many contacts you need to make. If you watched last week's show on, how to determine if you want to make 300,000. Oh, please, I got a cough. I gave you the formula. And so then you know what your target is. And I'm giving you all the different ways that you build that database. Now you've got everything you need to achieve your goals. And we'll go over some of the more finer details of this but these are the basics. These are the basics. And let's see. I know. Let's see. Here we go. Oh man. So right now we've done our financial management, and now we're working on the sales and marketing. And the first part of sales and marketing is your database. You've got to build it. So we'll get more into the marketing aspect of it as this week progresses. And then the last thing we're going to do, which probably will be next week, is customer service, depending on how things flow. All right, everybody, have a great day. Thank you for listening. I'm so happy Jimmy Degg showed up. It always makes my day when he does. If you need CE classes, here you go. We have agency tomorrow from 2 to 5. It's a great class. And then ethics on the 22nd. Did you cross the line? And then the general cap rate, cash on cash. Do you speak investor, which is a great, if you're marketing to non-owner occupied people, this is a great class to take, because you want to know, they want to know what their return on investment is. And we teach you how you calculate it and all the things that go into it. We love you. See you soon. Tomorrow, hopefully.